Electrical requirements for swimming pools are crucial for safety. Addressing pull boxes. A pull box is required to provide a safe and accessible location for disconnecting the pool equipment. It must be located within 5 feet of the equipment and be accessible without entering the pool area. The pull box must contain a circuit breaker or switch that can disconnect all power to the pool equipment. Regarding ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles, ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are required for all outdoor receptacles within 6 feet of the pool's edge or 10 feet of the spa's edge. They must have a ground fault circuit interrupter that protects against electrical shock. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle should be installed at least 12 inches above the level of the water. Let's discuss additional code requirements. Firstly, equipment grounding. All electrical equipment must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. Secondly, bonding. All metal components, for example pool ladder, slide, light fixtures, must be bonded together to equalize voltage potential. Thirdly, conduit. Electrical wires must be enclosed in conduit to protect them from damage and moisture. Fourthly, wiring. All wiring must meet the applicable codes and standards. Fifthly, inspection. All pool electrical work must be inspected and approved by a qualified electrical inspector before being energized. Understanding the importance of compliance is key. By putting your name on a pool wiring job, declaration is made that the work meets or exceeds all applicable codes and standards. This protects others and the electrician in case of any future accidents or issues. Always ensure that proper training and experience is obtained before working on pool electrical systems. Now let's delve deeper into specific requirements. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed guidelines for pool electrical systems. Firstly, equipotential bonding is a critical safety measure. It involves connecting all metallic parts within and around the pool area to create an electrical common ground. This includes the pool reinforcing seal, metal fittings, pump motor housing, and any other conductive elements. The purpose of equipotential bonding is to minimize voltage gradients in the pool area, reducing the risk of electric shock to swimmers. The bonding conductor must be a solid copper conductor of at least number 8 American wire gauge. Secondly, ground fault circuit interrupter protection is mandatory for various electrical circuits around the pool. This includes receptacles within a certain distance of the pool, lighting circuits, and circuits feeding pool equipment. Ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to detect even small leakage currents to ground and quickly interrupt the circuit, preventing electrical shock. It's important to use ground fault circuit interrupters that are specifically listed for pool applications. Thirdly, wiring methods and materials. The NEC specifies the types of wiring methods and materials that are permitted for use in pool electrical systems. In general, wiring must be installed in rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, or rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit. Direct burial cables are typically not allowed within the pool area. All wiring must be rated for wet locations and be resistant to corrosion. Fourthly, underwater lighting. Underwater luminaires must be specifically listed for pool use and be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. They must be supplied by a low-voltage transformer that is located at a safe distance from the pool. The maximum voltage for underwater luminaires is typically 15 volts. Fifthly, pool pump motors. Pool pump motors must be grounded and provided with ground fault circuit interrupter protection. The motor must be located at a safe distance from the pool water to prevent accidental contact. The wiring connections to the motor must be properly sealed to prevent moisture from entering the motor housing. Sixthly, receptacle placement. Receptacles installed near the pool must be ground fault circuit interrupter protected and be located at least 6 feet away from the inside wall of the pool. This prevents swimmers from using electrical devices while in or near the pool. Seventhly, overhead conductors. Overhead conductors are not allowed to pass directly over the pool or the surrounding area. This is to prevent the risk of accidental contact with energized wires. Eighthly, bonding jumpers. Bonding jumpers are used to connect different metal components together to ensure equipotential bonding. These jumpers must be properly sized and installed to provide a reliable electrical connection. Ninthly, electrical inspections. All pool electrical work must be inspected and approved by a qualified electrical inspector before the pool is put into use. The inspector will verify that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Tenthly, documentation. It's important to keep accurate records of all electrical work performed in the pool, including wiring diagrams, inspection reports, and equipment specifications. This documentation can be helpful for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Now let's consider some common mistakes to avoid. Firstly, improper grounding. Grounding is a critical safety measure that is often overlooked or done incorrectly. Make sure that all electrical equipment is properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. Secondly, inadequate bonding. Bonding is essential for creating an equipotential plane around the pool. Ensure that all metal components are properly bonded together to equalize voltage potential. Thirdly, using the wrong type of wiring. Using the wrong type of wiring can lead to corrosion and electrical failures. Always use wiring that is specifically rated for wet locations and is resistant to corrosion. Fourthly, improper ground fault circuit interrupter protection. Ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect against electrical shock. Make sure that they are properly installed and tested to ensure that they are functioning correctly. Fifthly, ignoring code requirements. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for pool electrical systems. Always follow the code requirements to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Sixthly, neglecting inspections. Electrical inspections are essential for verifying that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Never skip the inspection process. Seventhly, lack of documentation. Keeping accurate records of all electrical work is important for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Maintain complete and accurate documentation. To ensure a safe pool electrical system, it is important to follow these best practices. Firstly, hire a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous. Always hire a qualified electrician who has experience in pool electrical systems. Secondly, obtain the necessary permits. In most jurisdictions, electrical work requires a permit. Obtain the necessary permits before starting any work. Thirdly, follow the NEC. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for pool electrical systems. Follow the code requirements to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Fourthly, use quality materials. Using quality materials can help prevent electrical failures and ensure a long-lasting installation. Fifthly, test the system thoroughly. After the installation is complete, test the system thoroughly to ensure that it is functioning correctly. Sixthly, maintain the system regularly. Pool electrical systems require regular maintenance to ensure that they remain safe and reliable. Schedule regular inspections and maintenance. Now let's discuss the specific code requirements for ground fault circuit interrupter protection in more detail. The NEC requires ground fault circuit interrupter protection for all 120 volt through 240 volt receptacles located within 20 feet of the inside walls of a pool or fountain. This requirement applies to both residential and commercial pools. The ground fault circuit interrupter protection must be provided by a ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle or a ground fault circuit interrupter circuit breaker. Ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles are typically used for individual receptacles, while ground fault circuit interrupter circuit breakers are used to protect entire circuits. The ground fault circuit interrupter must be rated to trip at a maximum of 5 mA. This is the level of current that can cause a dangerous electrical shock. The ground fault circuit interrupter must be tested regularly to ensure that it is functioning correctly. The NEC recommends testing ground fault circuit interrupters at least once a month. To test a ground fault circuit interrupter receptacle, press the test button on the receptacle. This should trip the ground fault circuit interrupter and interrupt the power to the receptacle. To reset the ground fault circuit interrupter, press the reset button on the receptacle. If the ground fault circuit interrupter does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced immediately. Ground fault circuit interrupters are an important safety device that can protect against electrical shock. By following the NEC requirements for ground fault circuit interrupter protection, electrical safety can be improved around swimming pools. In addition to ground fault circuit interrupter protection, the NEC also requires equipotential bonding for all metal parts within and around the pool area. Equipotential bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts together to create an electrically common ground. This includes the pool reinforcing seal, metal fittings, pump motor housing, and any other conductive elements. The purpose of equipotential bonding is to minimize voltage gradients in the pool area, reducing the risk of electric shock to swimmers. The bonding conductor must be a solid copper conductor of at least number 8 American wire gauge. The bonding conductor must be connected to all metal parts within the pool area, including the pool reinforcing seal, metal fittings, pump motor housing, and any other conductive elements. The bonding conductor must be installed in a continuous run, without any splices or breaks. The bonding conductor must be connected to the electrical grounding system of the building. Equipotential bonding is an essential safety measure that can help prevent electrical shock around swimming pools. By following the NEC requirements for equipotential bonding, electrical safety can be improved around swimming pools. Let's cover the NEC requirements for pool lighting. The NEC specifies requirements for both underwater and above-water lighting in and around swimming pools. Underwater luminaires must be specifically listed for pool use and must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. They must be supplied by a low-voltage transformer that is located at a safe distance from the pool. The maximum voltage for underwater luminaires is typically 15 volts. Above-water luminaires must be located at least 12 feet above the water level or must be ground fault circuit interrupter protected. This is to prevent swimmers from accidentally contacting energized wires. Luminaires located within 16 feet horizontally of the inside walls of the pool must be ground fault circuit interrupter protected. All luminaires must be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Pool lighting can enhance the safety and enjoyment of swimming pools. By following the NEC requirements for pool lighting, safety can be improved around swimming pools. When installing pool electrical equipment, it is important to follow these steps. Firstly, plan the installation carefully. Before starting any work, carefully plan the installation to ensure that it complies with all applicable codes and standards. Secondly, obtain the necessary permits. In most jurisdictions, electrical work requires a permit. Obtain the necessary permits before starting any work. Thirdly, disconnect the power. Before working on any electrical equipment, disconnect the power to the circuit. Fourthly, install the equipment according to the manufacturer's instructions. All electrical equipment must be installed according to the manufacturer's instructions. Fifthly, ground the equipment properly. All electrical equipment must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock. Sixthly, bond the equipment properly. All metal components must be properly bonded together to equalize voltage potential. Seventhly, test the system thoroughly. After the installation is complete, test the system thoroughly to ensure that it is functioning correctly. Installing pool electrical equipment can be dangerous. Always follow these steps carefully to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Now let's consider some specific examples of pool electrical installations. Firstly, installing a pool pump motor. When installing a pool pump motor, it is important to follow these steps. Disconnect the power to the circuit. Install a ground fault circuit interrupter protected receptacle near the motor. Connect the motor to the receptacle using a flexible cord. Ground the motor properly. Bond the motor properly. Test the system thoroughly. Secondly, installing underwater lighting. When installing underwater lighting, it is important to follow these steps. Disconnect the power to the circuit. Install a low voltage transformer at a safe distance from the pool. Install the underwater luminaire according to the manufacturer's instructions. Ground the luminaire properly. Bond the luminaire properly. Test the system thoroughly. Thirdly, installing a pool heater. When installing a pool heater, it is important to follow these steps. Disconnect the power to the circuit. Install a ground fault circuit interrupter protected circuit breaker in the electrical panel. Connect the heater to the circuit breaker using the appropriate size wire. Run the heater properly. On the heater properly. Test the system thoroughly. These are just a few examples of pool electrical installations. When performing any electrical work, it is important to follow all applicable codes and standards. By following these guidelines, safety can be ensured and compliance with electrical codes can be maintained. Furthermore, ongoing maintenance and inspection of pool electrical systems are vital for continued safety. Regularly inspect all electrical components for signs of wear, corrosion, or damage. Check ground fault circuit interrupters monthly to ensure they are functioning correctly. Verify that all bonding connections are secure and free from corrosion. Repair any damaged equipment or wiring immediately. Keep the area around the pool electrical equipment clean and free from debris. Schedule a professional electrical inspection at least once a year. By following these maintenance and inspection procedures, the risk of electrical hazards can be minimized and the safety of pool users can be protected. Now let's discuss some advanced topics related to pool electrical systems. Firstly, surge protection. Surge protection devices can protect pool electrical equipment from damage caused by voltage surges. Surges can be caused by lightning strikes, power outages, or other electrical disturbances. Surge protection devices should be installed at the main electrical panel and at any subpanels that feed pool equipment. Secondly, energy efficiency. Pool electrical equipment can consume a significant amount of energy. Consider using energy-efficient pumps, heaters, and lighting to reduce energy consumption and save money. Thirdly, smart pool controls. Smart pool controls can automate various pool functions, such as filtration, heating, and lighting. They can also provide remote monitoring and control via a smartphone or tablet. Fourthly, variable frequency drives. Variable frequency drives can be used to control the speed of pool pump motors. This can help to reduce energy consumption and noise levels. Fifthly, solar pool heating. Solar pool heating systems can use solar energy to heat the pool water. This can be a cost-effective and environmentally friendly way to heat the pool. These are just a few advanced topics related to pool electrical systems. By staying up to date on the latest technologies and trends, pool electrical systems can be improved and made more safe. In addition to the technical aspects of pool electrical systems, it is also important to consider the legal and regulatory requirements. Firstly, permits. In most jurisdictions, electrical work requires a permit. Obtain the necessary permits before starting any work. Secondly, inspections. All pool electrical work must be inspected and approved by a qualified electrical inspector. Schedule the inspection after the work is completed. Thirdly, codes and standards. Pool electrical systems must comply with all applicable codes and standards such as the NEC. Ensure that the installation meets all code requirements. Fourthly, liability. If any electrical work is performed incorrectly, liability may be incurred for any damages or injuries that result. Obtain adequate insurance coverage to protect against liability. Fifthly, warranties. Electrical equipment typically comes with a warranty. Understand the terms of the warranty and keep records of all purchases and maintenance. By understanding the legal and regulatory requirements, problems can be avoided and electrical safety can be protected. Finally, let's summarize the key points of this discussion. Pool electrical systems are complex and require careful attention to detail. Safety is the top priority. Always follow all applicable codes and standards. Hire a qualified electrician to perform electrical work. Obtain the necessary permits and inspections. Maintain the system regularly and keep records of all work performed. By following these guidelines, a safe and compliant pool electrical system can be ensured. This will provide years of enjoyment and peace of mind. The information provided in this narration is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for specific recommendations and guidance regarding pool electrical systems. Remember to always prioritize safety and follow all applicable codes and standards. By doing so, you can ensure a safe and enjoyable swimming pool experience for yourself, your family, and your community.